Good for it.
Okay. Hello everyone. So this is Group 2's presentation on logistics buildings of tomorrow. Today's presentation is done by, you guys can introduce yourselves.
Felix.
Tony.
Ollie.
No. All right, cool. Let's get going.
The pandemic has hit property hard during the past 2 years, and this has really made developers think about the buildings of the future and how efficient it can be. We've all been impacted by COVID-19, but the impacts the pandemic has had on property has been top of the agenda. Real estate has been affected in every aspect, from the developers to testing the resilience of the supply chains. Warehouses are becoming even more crucial aspect of the future, with materials needing to be stored due to miniaturization and digitalization. The change to the industry has been drastic, with huge shifts in how companies think about their supply chains and how stable they are. There's also been a massive shift in both demographic and technological change due to the pandemic.
Cool.
So for my section of the presentation, I looked at demographic change. Demographic change can affect economic growth, patterns of consumption, and the labour market. Economic growth can be affected depending on primary demographic age. This can lead to long-run unemployment rates, changes in housing market trends, and change in the demand for financial assets. Patterns of consumption can change with age. For example, you're unlikely to get a 60-year-old with the same spending habits as a 20-year-old. Demographic change would also affect the labour market due to having a prominently more aging population, because some jobs are better suited for younger people. Overall, demographic change is important when it comes to development, because we don't only need to factor in the needs for the new demographic, but if you have a rapidly aging population, a lot of the labour intensive jobs will be short on staff, which in turn will bring prices up. If we refer to the chart that we can see in the book, the labour supply of around 2.5 to 3% for Italy, and the working age population is -3 to -4%, meaning they may not have enough workers to complete the necessary jobs, which means development is less likely to take place in these aging demographic places.
Cool. So Harrison's mic doesn't work, so I've just called him and he's gonna try to talk through the phone.
Yeah. So urbanization.
Okay, Harrison, I think there's like a lot of like noise in the background, so I'll just speak for you. I'm sure it's fine. Okay, sorry about that. Okay, so urbanization. Urbanization is the process through which cities grow and a high percentage come to live in the city. Problems can arise such as high population density, inadequate building infrastructure, lack of affordable housing, which can lead to slum creation and an increase in crime if not done correctly. Urbanization is developing rapidly, with the amount of people wanting to live in urban areas rising each year. From 2000 to 2018, Europe's population inhabiting urban areas rose by 4% for 71% to 75%, and is expecting to reach 77.5% by 2030. In the next 5 years, 30 European cities will see an aggregate GDP growth 1.3% to 0.6% of employment growth. Retail has also grown a great deal due to COVID-19. Figure shows pre-COVID, the share of total retail sales in Europe rose from 4.8 to 8.8 from 2012 to 2018. But from 2019 to 2024, it is expected to grow 11.5 per year. The degree of urbanization in the UK is 83.9%. This just shows how rapidly big cities living and developing into the general public's ideal place. And the question to ask, how will this affect sustainability and the hope to reverse climate change for the future with constant busy city being built? Okay, so then we go on to the 10 key attributes. So the first one is we still require, well, tomorrow's logistics buildings still require significant labor, require more skilled labor, will need to be taller to enable automated storage and retrieval systems to fit, grant access to more power, will be smarter and make use of the internet for technology, will be more flexible to meet the customer's demands, will need to be multi-storied, will require more doors, yard space, and energy supply points, need to be green warehouses and cut out carbon emissions, will embrace human-centric design. Okay, so then we go into it for more detail. I think we'll just like, Felix, would you like to just go through these three?
Yeah, 2 seconds. So requiring significant labor. The guys in charge, e.g. investors, need to make sure the labor is at a high standard and locations have an effect on sufficient labor. If unemployment arises, occupiers have to find different methods for finding workers. They could do this by connecting with charities and supporting communities-based training programs. Requiring more skilled labor. The increasing use of automation in warehouses reduce the need for warehouse labor, but at the same time need higher skilled personal control to control the warehouse systems, e.g. engineers ensure that automated systems run smoothly. And buildings need to be taller to enable automated storage. Robots and automation need more cubic capacity to operate efficiently. This will force higher roofing to be built in warehouses and retrieval systems.
Cool. Ali?
Yeah. Grant access to more power. So delivery vehicles, cars, electric charging points for material handling equipment, and automation all require a lot of power to operate. The demand for power will rise to be able to tend to these needs. Buildings will be smarter and make use of the internet for technology. To be part of a connecting physical distribution and information network, internet access is a key factor. Technology is taking over, and that's why it's important to transfer to smart warehouses. These warehouses will make it easier to transfer goods and materials. It will all be connected to one big information network. These networks can fulfill all parties, including manufacturers, retailers, suppliers, and consumers.
For the sixth one, will be more flexible to meet consumer demands. New logistics buildings will be able to be more efficient, create higher quality, and be more convenient due to improved technology within the warehouse. This will result in a more productive flow of supply. The seventh one will be multi-storied. This is beneficial as it is more cost effective to have more storage space. So the company won't waste time storing until supplying. It'll also decrease retail costs due to the multiple stories. And the last few will require more doors, yard space, and energy. With new stories and space used up, you'll have to require new levels to load trucks, which can be cost effective. With new storage space will be required for loading and wider doors to get the products out. Energy will also be required to work the doors, and few new technologies which could produce carbon emissions if not done correctly. Number 9, need to be greenhouses and cut out carbon emissions. With a new climate change plan set in place for the world and constant sustainable buildings being developed, it is vital new warehouses should reduce carbon footprint. Companies can reduce waste of ensuring efficient inventory, example, eco-friendly packaging and low carbon emissions from vehicles, electricity, and machines. The last one will embrace human-centric design. Putting desires and abilities at the center of the development process is crucial to developing a new approach to more modern era of buildings. Solving consumers' problems will help achieve consumer demands as it makes the whole process swifter and more efficient. Okay, in conclusion, The demographics. Aging population will force the labor to increase slower than the total population, as well as the rates of unemployment will climb due to COVID-19. This will cause more difficult to find jobs in the warehouses and transport. And the urbanization, the high demand for land will increase due to the population growth in cities. This is a big challenge for investors, developers, and occupiers because it will reinforce them to use their land for logistics and administration in bigger cities, aiming to be more sustainable. Thank you very much. Do you guys have any questions?